My name is Fred Heffer. I'm one of the managing partners of Pomerol Partners and one of the co-founders. Originally started with the writeback when we co-developed this with a US investment bank in 2017. So it's come a long way since then, and yeah, we're very excited to show you where the product is at and the capabilities. And yeah, but I won't steal Gonzalo's thunder. Let me hand over to him.
Hey, Gonzalo, welcome.
Thank you.
Can you do a little intro on yourself first, a little bit about what we're going to see here?
Yeah, of course. So first of all, my name is Gonçalo Pereira. Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for having me here as well, of course. So basically, I'm one of the partners of Pomerol Partners, and I'm responsible for the EMEA delivery. And this includes basically our development R&D regarding the Pomerol writeback. So what we are going to see today is going to be a little bit different of what we were showing in the previous sessions, because we were focusing on basically have the Pomerol extension for the client manage, but now we actually have an exciting new version for SaaS. So Qlik is definitely going to SaaS, going to cloud and pushing a lot. And of course, it makes sense to start going that way as well. So today is going to all about in terms of showing our new version of the Pomerol writeback for SaaS. And in this case, to show the capabilities to actually to write back for Snowflake.
Very exciting. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get your screen up here.
Thank you very much.
And you can take it away, Gonzalo.
So I'm assuming everyone can see my screen now. So in that case, I think it makes sense to start from the actually very beginning. So one thing that is easy now today, actually, if today you want actually to get a sense or a look and feel in terms of how you can actually work with our extension, it's going to be very easy. You just need to go to our website, go here to the menu, just click here, Qlik Sense Writeback, or just scroll to the very bottom. And again, you will have your Qlik Sense Writeback. And then you will have here all the information that you need to have about our extension. Some videos to explain some of the features, technical use case, and so on, so on. So very easy here. You can actually download and then just start using yourself. So this part is for free. We will not charge anything. The only thing you need to do, literally, just add here your name, your company, your details, basically, email and country, and then just click download. As soon as you click download, you will get an email exactly like this one, in terms of saying thank you very much for getting the writeback. You will get extra information. So like this website, in terms of to give you some hints of how you can use actually the writeback, in terms of doing the installation and so on, so on. So for instance, in this case, for our case, what we want is the SaaS version. So you will be able to see a small video explaining step by step how you can do the installation. And then you can also follow with some of the things. And you also have, of course, the most important part, the URL that you can use to actually to download the extension. Then you just put here, and this will automatically download to your computer, and then you can start using. After you download, very easy. You just need to go, in this case, for your tenant, do your Qlik SaaS, and then just go to your management console in your tenant. Just go here to your extensions. So in this case, we already have our writeback installed, but the only thing you need to do is just click add, click drop here, select the extension that you want to upload, click open, and then you click upload. In this case, we are going to do something different in terms of, let's imagine that I have an older version. So one of the things that we will do is we can go here, edit, click here, exactly the same process, but the only thing that we are doing is just replacing for a new one, and then open, save, just wait a couple of seconds, and he will basically just replace the old version for the new version. And in terms of making this extension available to you to start using is basically it. So then the only thing you need to do is just go to one of your apps that you would like to implement this. So I will just show very quickly this one. So we are going to open here the app. Just going open one of the sheets. So this is basically a very simple example. We all developers, when we are trying to develop something for a customer, we have always the specific case in terms of data management, in terms of mapping tables. We will have always Excels to load, Excels to do this, Excels to do that. And one of the major issues is some kind of typos, some small error can basically kill your entire environment, because someone can change the structure or of the Excel and basically stops your environment. And this is one of the most use cases in terms of to actually reuse the writeback. So where we have the source version map to, so basically what we want to do is mapping regions to the actually names. So let's say we have several regions from different sources that we want to make sure everything stays the same. Everything basically has the exact same name, instead of having AR and then Arizona or Alabama AL. So as a small example, what we could do is click here, filter just our information, click here in our writeback. It will immediately pop up and show you the information that you select. Click here, and then you can select what you want, or even just search what you select and click save. Then we will wait a couple of seconds. This will start making the request to basically to save, in this case, into Snowflake, and then it will tell you, okay, everything is done, and we have basically the new data live. So now, how does actually this work? So I show you already basically the end part, but how does it actually work? What kind of extra configurations you need to do? Like I was saying, very simple. We already uploaded the version. So the only thing we actually need to do is, when we are trying to configure our extension, is what kind of dimensions we want to show them. And based on the dimensions that we want to use, what are the characteristics or the properties? Is this dimension going to be visible? Is it going to be writable for the table or for the database? Is it editable? And if yes, what type of edit we want to use? So again, you can have all these options here, and it's just enable, disable, Dropbox or drop down, so you can basically easily choose what you need. Then you have exactly the same logic, but for your measures. And then, of course, you have several options for you to play around in terms of how you like your button to look, what kind of name you like your button to have, or even some icons, potentially, if you like to have your button with some icons. Again, very customizable. You can basically do even the calculation condition, just show this button when something happens. So this is actually a cool use case to use with sects and access. Sometimes we want to restrict this to specific people, so is a specific use case that is actually very cool. And then, of course, one of the most important is the connection properties. So by default, you will see this. And by default, you will be able to use the writeback exactly to a file. Here you can enter your name. You can choose the types of files that you want to create. You can, you can choose the space where you want to store this file. And then, of course, it's done. So we have a file, we have a name, we have a type, and it's done. Now, for more tricky options, you want to use the Snowflake, because, again, to use an Excel perhaps is not going to help you, your use case. You need something more robust. So in this case, you have the Snowflake option. So one of the things is you will need to have a small backend server in one of your environments, in your own house. So it's not going to be, let's say, in our cloud or in someone else's cloud. No, it's yours. It's in your secure box, basically in a place where you want to put it. So you have the URL. You need to specify the tables, in this case, where the data is going to be stored. And then you need to specify the token. This token, you will get it basically in your management console that will basically provide. So here's the token, so you can actually use with the SaaS version of this product, basically. And that's it. And again, after this, you can just start playing around small basically updates, or even in this case, if you want, actually, if you need to do some more bulk inserts, you can say, let's imagine if this is all Arizona. So we want to update everything to HAR. Click Save. Again, this is going to start the process, and then we just need to wait until it finishes, and then we will see actually the live update. And that's it. Most of the things is basic. Then some have a little bit of imagination, and you can use the writeback for lots of things. We have several customers of ours using the writeback definitely for a use case like this. Others they use like for surveys as well, using the calculation condition that I show you. So they also use that, and so on, so on. Now, one thing that I would like to mention, that is one of the main questions people ask, is, will this work with analyzer license? So the answer is yes, but you need to do an extra configuration. Just to explain a little bit the mechanics, what our extension is doing is identifying the user that is basically making the selections or playing around here, and it sends the information of that user to create the files or even to trigger the partial reload. Now, an analyzer user does not have the permissions to do that. So one thing that we did was, so if we go to our configurations, what we are trying to do is basically leveraging the Qlik APIs here. So the idea is for you can have, let's say, a license assigned to a writeback user. So let's say a professional license to a writeback user, a generic user, let's say like this. With that user, you will be able to create the API's keys. So you will be able to create one of the API's keys here, and then you will be able to use this. So you will paste your API key, and what will happen is, let's imagine for 1 minute that I have an analyzer license. So what will happen is I will basically start the request, just the normal. Just a second, let me just disable this, because if not, we get an error. But let's imagine we are here. I will click Analyzer User without any issues. Click here and do this. What will happen as soon as I click Save is we will use and leverage that API, that generic user that we created only for the writeback extension. And we will use that user to basically send the information to do the partial reload or to create the file, and so on, so on. So basically, we will use your generic writeback user to do everything that an analyze user cannot do. And that's it.